Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Prison Break. This is the 7th episode of the 3rd season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you liked today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. Speaking about links in the description, we are now opening our most liked to dislike characters of the season. Yes, it takes 30 seconds, and your results of mine be shown in the final episode. It's only a shortened season, so I thought I'd open it right now because we're kind of midway through, and I feel like everybody who's in the season who's going to have some sort of significant impact will have already been shown. Now, we ended last episode very interesting there, which has excited me for today's. We're supposed to start the escape in episode 6, but we ended the episode with Michael actually throwing the chicken's foot or whatever it was down, basically a fight to the death with Whistler. Yes, he was told by Lincoln that Sarah had died. Michael, push come to shove, was forcing Lincoln to give him the information. He was saying, look mate, I'm not going to facilitate this escape, I'm not going to help anybody until I know that obviously Sarah and LJ are okay. I want to see the pictures. Lincoln's asked for them. She gave him the same one as last time. She said, look, you could just briefly pop it up like that and show him. It's the best I could do in short notice. Well, it's pretty shocking, to be honest, and I can understand why Michael wouldn't accept that. Michael was pushing and pushing and pushing Lincoln until he turned around and said, look, mate, you can't have a picture of Sarah because she's not here anymore. She's literally dead. You know what I mean? They killed her, and they're going to kill my son next if we don't actually go through with this plan. Michael's just lost to all of it, mate. Literally, he's just turned away from Lincoln, walked off, didn't listen to anything else that he had to say, gone straight in there, blame Whistler, threw the challenge down, and they're going to fight to the death. So it's going to be exciting to see how today's obviously plays out. Another interesting thing is Mahone was actually approached by his previous colleagues. They said, look, we'll give you 8 years if you come back to the US, and testify against the US government and the president and tells everything that happened. He obviously rejected that straight away, but then he come back after. Well, interestingly, the guy that was recently just put in there, who was kind of calling out Whistler, had been killed, murdered, and Lechero was trying to find out who done that. Well, Michael, he ended up finding a bloody blade inside of Mahone's cell, which I think's implanted anyway. I'm not too sure it was Mahone's, but he realised the situation, the gravity of it, and that Michael was going to hand him in, and he realised that obviously taking the plea deal was better than being inside that prison and him obviously being strung up and killed for obviously the murder of this guy. So he's gone back to the people, and he actually said, look mate, we offered you 8 at first, but now we're only going to offer you 4 years minimum security prison, give us all the information on President Reynolds, you know what I mean, and you can have your life back after you've served it and be out. Now he's obviously accepted that. He knows that obviously if he goes this way, he could potentially be killed by the government for obviously revealing secrets, just like Killerman. But also he knows that if he stayed in prison, he'd be dead just like that, because obviously he'll be the one hung out to dry for the murder. So he shows the plea deal. He's gone out. He's hoping that he's safe. But like I said, a person who's not safe is Michael or Whistler, because the fight to the death is hopefully going to start right now in this episode. I cannot wait. Thanks for checking it out. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
One minute you plead for your friend's life, and the next minute you want to take it? This man is no friend of mine! An eye for an eye. Once you make such a declaration, there's no going back. There's nothing to go back to. Then we have a fight. We come back here in 15 minutes.
You can see Bag are both reviewing the situation. Be looking at it. You could at least be smiling, couldn't he?
Take that, man. Not a lot, but it's enough to get you started.
Hey, buena suerte.
Gracias. Igual a ti, huh? Is she coming with you to do the exchange?
Yeah. And send him just in case Whistler doesn't want to go quietly.
You think any of this is going to go down quiet?
It doesn't matter what I think. I know what these people are capable of.
We'll be arriving at the courthouse in about 15 minutes. Then the hearing will begin shortly. All in all, this whole thing will be done within the hour.
That's good.
He don't look in a good way though, does he?
What specifically are they expecting from me? They need to know everything.
Mate, I'd love to know the big names that he's going to be thrown under the bus if he says it all.
Look, I don't know what you're thinking, but killing me is not going to solve your problems.
I'm not going to kill you.
I meant what I said about Sarah.
If I were you, I wouldn't mention that name again. We're getting out of here now, and then I'm trading you for my nephew. And I'm going to find out who's responsible for taking her life. And I'm taking theirs.
That was a good twist, really good twist actually. It was part of Michael's big plan. Now, I was obviously talking about diversion, so you need to create one. Last episode I was saying, why does this woman who's got LJ not actually play a better part? Realistically, they've done nothing, have they, really, to benefit the escape. They've not even helped. All they've done is took hostages and said, yo, you better do this escape for us. They could utilize their powers, their facilities, you know what I mean? They could have created a big diversion outside, used the soccer game that was on the inside, and then obviously the escape could happen on this side. I mean, you could have 3 things going on, which would occupy the guards' time, and do you know what I mean? They'd be focusing on one area while something else happens on another. But they've not really done anything like that, have they? Michael's come in, thought of a plan himself. I mean, I'm not too sure what technically he's going to do. Is he going to wait for, obviously, everybody to be outside? Because that's when the fight's supposed to be happening, and obviously everybody's going to want to be there watching it. And while that's taking place, he's going to sneak up into that room and hopefully dive out the back window.
Let's go for you now.
Is it true about Sarah? I'm sorry, Michael.
Does he actually mean it? He sounds like it. I actually don't know with Bellic. I never know what he's doing.
If everything works out today, you and me, we're both gonna get what we want. Stay here.
I don't think she trusts him.
I know you're just doing your job. I bet you're as ready for this to be over with as I am.
You're a human being with dreams, plans for the future, all that. But whether you see it isn't up to me anymore. It's in your uncle's hands now.
Mate, they've only literally got a small window, otherwise they're messed up, aren't they?
What are you waiting for?
They're waiting for the noise so that they can bang. Yeah.
Where's Mahone?
It's gone.
We know he's not ratting us out right now.
You don't. You just gotta be hopeful.
Something wrong?
A couple of Panamanians might have gotten cold feet.
Gonna take you to a hotel room.
You know, up until an hour ago, this was a done deal.
This is still your best bet.
Unless someone else is offering you a get out of sauna free card.
What if they see us?
Somebody else stop. You stop.
That's it?
That's it. Got it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Look at him as well, Drowser. He's gone. One's down. Reckon it's a cloud in the sky. Mate, you gotta just go for it.
This is it.
Oh, he's getting money out. What's he doing with it?
Good luck.
Reckon he's thinking something's going on.
Go back! Go back!
Mate, I don't even know, like, you know, I know you're losing the light and there's a potential that the guard's going to turn around, but it's not factual. You know what I mean? Like, that guard's not necessarily going to turn instantly as soon as the sun goes away. Now, it's likely that he's going to by the time you make it from A to B, which is the other side, but, you know what I mean? It's not definite. What is definite, though, is the fact if you go back, you've already threw the gauntlet down and you both have got to fight. And we know that it's a fight to the death and they're not going to accept anything less. You know what I mean? He even asked you as well. He was like, look, mate, is this sure what you want to do at the start of the episode? That's what he said to him. And he was like, yeah, he kind of doubled down on it. Do you know what I mean? So, like, Lechero's not going to let this slide. So, I think the best play is to run. There's one guard down, and if one guard does see you, that's just one guard. I know they've got a gun, but to me, that's quite a far distance. And, like, if you did start shooting, there's 2 of yous. Do you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily going to hit both. And you can run zigzags, you know, you can run cross pass, you can roll, you can stop, you can back and forward. Like, you know, you can try and do different things to stop them from hitting you. Now, again, there's a high chance that you will get shot. But I personally think that now running from A to B is the best chance than this guy not shooting you. Then there is going back up, because as soon as you're up there, if you say no, all the prisoners are going to grab you and they're going to make you fight to the death anyway.
Come on, come on.
They could have made it quite far then. Yeah, I feel like they could have got kind of a decent distance away.
It's only a matter of time.
I know, come on.
The damn thing's not coming up. Hey, gringos!
I would put it on the window. Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Where are you off to, Bakra?
Where you boys been? In the bathroom?
We've worked it out.
You clearly don't understand. I gave you every chance to pull out.
Please.
He did give him a chance at the start. He asked him 2 times, did he want to carry on with it? He took the first hit.
If any one of us is getting out.
Seem alright to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, how many people they got?
She's got a driver and a bodyguard, that's it.
I mean, Michael ain't coming anytime soon, is he? He's in the prison fighting to the death. I knew she'd be watching him. And I knew that she'd have a weapon in the glove box. She thinks that he's going to cross him over, but I don't know. I think Lincoln's a sound guy. Oh, the ladder's going to fall and they're going to go after them. Whose cell are they in, actually? It's not Michael's cell, is it? That's not Michael and his cell. So, like, I'm thinking that that ladder's going to fall. The alarm's going to go. They're going to come rushing in. Who sells this? Do you know what I mean? And then the fight will get delayed and maybe Sammy or somebody will get pulled, because we know it's not their cell, because last episode theirs was chained up in it. So Lechero might shift his focus to whoever that is. I'm thinking it's Sammy's. I'm sure they said that that's the only cell that they could actually do to get out of, and then that'll be interesting, because he'd be like, look mate, you're trying to do an escape without me not even telling me. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to trust him as much as he currently does, so that'll be interesting. But that's what I think's going to happen in terms of preventing the fight from going ahead to the death. I feel like the ladder's going to drop and they're going to see it, which is going to cause the stoppage of the fight because they're going to come inside. But also this woman's coming after Lincoln. She obviously feels like he's going to screw her over, but I actually think that Lincoln is a pretty sound person, to be honest. And like, you know, I know that he's going against the people that have got his son's kind of wishes in terms of like what he's trying to set up, but I don't feel like he would screw many innocent people over, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So she's okay. He doesn't know the deal with the Whistler guy, but he's not really going to do anything that's going to put her in harm's way, because she's just as innocent as him. They're just like casualties of like somebody else's doings. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how obviously they play out, but no confirmation that Sarah's alive, even though I'm guessing that. I'm just guessing it. I mean, I'm stupid for thinking that, but I never actually seen her head in a box. That's the thing. Like, I would think like somebody like Sarah was, I wouldn't say she's a massive character in the show, but she's a big character. You know what I mean? She was a main character, and I feel like somebody like her in a show who becomes like a main character, like if they're going to die, then you want to see them die. You want them to have a good death. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want them to just be in it one time and then the next time you see them, they're in a chair, you can't physically see the face, and then you're told that they're dead. It's like, that's not great, is it? The way I feel like it is you could do stuff like that, and then you could do a psych, or do you know what I mean? Like Uno, and reverse it, because, you know, like next season or whatever, they could pull her back in, because they could say to us, you never actually seen her die, we just told you she was dead, and then you can bring her back in. Unless you physically see somebody get the head cut off, or stabbed, or killed, or bleed out, then I feel like it's always a possibility, and that's what I feel with her. I feel like they teased us, and it fits because she's not in the season, but next season they could play something and say, oh, it wasn't really her, it was a decoy, or something like that.
You know what? You need to get back to the car.
Don't move.
I'm impressed. You actually got the guts to look me in the eyes. You stabbed me in the back.
I can't let you hand over James to those people.
You need to think about what you're doing.
I have.
This whole time you played me.
Like you've been playing me. Bringing me here to be your lookout? We're both here doing what we have to for the people we love.
You know what's tough with her is that she obviously loves him, but I feel like she don't actually know physically who he is properly.
Quiet. How much longer do you want to give them?
Mate, you got to give him till the end of the day. I know he said a time.
Your whole life. Sad to think the closest you'll get is being buried under one.
Hurtado, ¿dónde estás?
No está contestando su diario, no lo puedo ver.
Confirmado. Mandaré un par de hombres para investigar.
Now the ladder's going. I knew that was going to happen.
No draws here. No, this isn't finished by one of you. I'm coming down to finish both of you.
Maybe they think they've already got a runner.
Dios mío. Oye, Roldan, tenemos un problema aquí.
There you go. Saved by the bell again.
Didn't make it.
So what do we do now?
I don't care what you do, but I'm taking the car.
What?
Put your hand on top of your head. Come down here. Now.
Were you gonna let me know what the hell's going on?
You're in the car with me.
Let me speak to him.
Long gone before that thing went off.
Well, if they got such a head start, why are you so far behind?
Want you to put Whistler on the phone.
It was so obvious that she was going to ask for proof that they was there.
Just get LJ ready.
This attempt was made from cell number 212. And if memory serves, that cell belongs to members of your crew. You are one of the milkman's boys, eh? Is it yourself?
Oh, he wants him to say yeah. Oh, he's been killed.
Let you run your business, have your whores. When you asked me to get rid of the phones, make them contraband, so you could control the trade in here. Did I not comply? Keep these men in line! Good luck. Breda.
They're all fuming though about what they've just heard about the water and the contraband and the phones. To be fair, I thought that he might have thought that it was Sammy just because it was his cell, but logically, you know, let's be honest, that's a smart approach. Michael would be the person that you would look to. The guy's already escaped from one prison. If somebody's going to try and attempt an escape in another one, it's going to be somebody who's successfully done one before, not somebody who's actually in there kind of leadership role running it. Do you know what I mean? Because Sammy has pretty much got it sweet. Now obviously they just learned some information about obviously the Chero, and it's going to have some people maybe wanting an uprise, and maybe T-Bag sees that as his opportunity to maybe step and stand forward. But if I was the Chero, I would have stood there, and I would have said, look, none of my men tried it. Somebody did, and it's that guy. You know, last episode they killed someone, didn't they? And they strung him up. And I would have said, look, mate, we caught him in the acts, and look, he's there. That's the punishment. You know what I mean? I do run the prison, and I've already stepped in there, and I've, you know what I mean? And I've stopped it. And, you know, that would show that you're still kind of like in charge. But right now, they kind of made him look weak. It actually really did. Now, again, interestingly, you know, they come in, he just shot a guy. You know, he never said it was his cell or not. He just said, was it you? And he didn't really say out, and he just popped him. So, I mean, it's ruthless for him because he didn't want to obviously be seen as a rat telling everybody whose it actually was, but he lost his life for it, which is a wound, honestly. It really is. And that, again, technically, you know, a character like Michael's going to be on his shoulders. You think it isn't because obviously it's just another criminal, but we've seen many people die before because of his actions, and it's took its toll on him. Now I'm interested to see obviously the actions, what's going to happen to Mahone's, because he was told that he was going to be, well, not a free man, but you know, everything was going to be a-okay, and all he had to do is testify and get 4 years. But straight away, as soon as he's out, plan's not going the way it's supposed to be.
Any news from Solid?
He's working on it. It doesn't matter what people say.
What do they say?
You know, people how they talk. The men, the ones they say you killed. If it is, you can talk to me about it. You can trust me.
So let me get this straight. Solon sends you to be good cop? So why don't you just come clean, Felicia, huh? For old time's sake. How about it?
I'm not blind. My brother was a user. I can smell the stuff a mile away.
Well, why would he confess anything? He don't need to. Do you know what I mean? He's not put on the stand yet.
Looks like they're packing up.
Whatever you do, don't let him take LJ, all right? Just have...
Link?
Sacrificed himself there, didn't he? There we go, look, right on the arse. Look, he's going to go straight in and grab her and get his son. Oh, he shot him. He's actually killed someone now.
Touch him, I swear to God, I'll put a bullet in her head.
When you choose this line of work, you know it's all gonna come down to a moment like this. So kill me.
I'd kneecap her. Still would.
We can do this.
Put him in the van.
You know, she's willing to die for the cause, and when you got somebody like that, you can't really have any advantage over him, can you? Do you know what I mean? I think Sucre played his part good.
What happened out there?
Happened out there.
Innit? That had to be done. No hard feelings on that fight.
Right.
You know why we're here, boy?
How you want it, brother? Fast or slow? I think I'd like to handle this one myself.
I feel like he's going to ask him how's he going to do it.
Do you have children, Mr. Schofield?
Maybe someday.
Myself, I have 5. 3 boys, 2 girls. Are you trying to break out of this prison, Mr. Schofield?
We both know that's not possible.
Answer me or else.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to tell me the truth. I want to hear it.
You want a reason to kill me?
No one.
He wants a reason to keep you alive.
You are breaking out of this prison, Mr. Schofield. And you're taking me with you.
Paranoia would kick in for him though. Especially if his drugs wearing off as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be all over his head.
Panamanians are back on board.
And the better news?
You're gonna get to have a really nice sleep on that bed. It's too late to do the hearing now. We'll get to it first thing tomorrow. The genie grants you a wish. You don't really tell him to make it snappy.
This hearing needs to happen today.
You know, I am so glad I have made this trip to help your esteemed colleague. I am just tickled.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out if they are telling the truth to him or not. I feel like they are, but they're also acting kind of shady.
You know, I spent my whole career trying to keep bad people behind bars. Like somehow by doing my job, I was making the world a better place. And you hear about what happened to someone like Sarah. Damn, it doesn't seem like there's more bad people out there than in here.
I thought we agreed it was best for you to not come here.
Oh, here we
I
go.
thought you needed to be out in 7 days. I need to know how this delay is going to affect things.
4 more days. If I'm out of here by then, I can still do it. Gretchen, about Sophia.
She's fine.
Michael's seen him. Do you know what I mean? Michael don't know who she is though. Do you know what I mean? He's never physically seen that woman. See, the thing is, I'm not surprised that he's speaking to her, because I actually, well, from reading the start of the season, from her approaching Lincoln and saying that they want to get him out, obviously put 2 and 2 together that they was all working together, you know what I mean? Well, he was working for him, and I know he's saying about the company, like, the thing is, with him, on the inside, he's acting like he doesn't know that, like, they're on the outside working to get him out, like it's his team. He's saying to Michael, he's acting like it's the company, like it's somebody else that want to get him and possibly kill him once he gives over this information. Do you know what I mean? Like, where, like, on the outside with Lincoln, I think Lincoln kind of knows that they're all kind of working in sync together, because, you know, she's approached him to get Whistler out. Now, obviously, like, to me, anyway, it's obvious that she's not working for the company. Just from watching the first 2 seasons and knowing how they are and who they are, it's obviously she's not part of it. Where from Michael's side, you know what I mean? He doesn't really know who this Whistler is or where he's come from. He doesn't really know his true identity. I know he says that he's you know, he's a fisherman and he's seen that woman who's shouting him his, like, girlfriend on the outside. But also, he's seen that guy who's come in, this Teague or whatever, and he said that he's seen him with, who he said that he's, I can't remember, he's a minister or something, do you know what I mean? I can't remember now, like, he was saying, like, somebody high up anyway, and basically, you know, he said that he's seen him with them, and, you know, now Michael's kind of confused, and he's trying to figure out who his true self is, you know what I mean? And like I said, he never really truly knows who he's working with on the outside, and Michael doesn't actually know that the woman that he's just seeing, Greta down there, that she is what is it now, like, she's the one that's got Sarah, or who killed Sarah and has LJ captive. You know, all he knows realistically is that they've been taken, and obviously he's seen a few pictures of them. But Michael don't trust him, and I know that he doesn't trust him, but he's got to do his plan just because obviously he wants to save them. Now he's seen this, and he's obviously going to come in and he's going to figure out that the time frame's moved from 7 days to obviously another 4 days. And he's going to be asking why and who was that woman. I would be anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, I like how Bellick's actually showing a bit of care for Sarah and feel like he's upset about it. You know, we did see him earlier on in the show when he kind of first introduced, you know, he kind of fancied her, and he was the one that got her the job interview at Fox River, which was interesting. And I know that she was part of the escape, and obviously, you know, his hatred towards Michael kind of put like a shadow or a cloud maybe above her and his opinions on her, but at the end of the day, he knows that she was just a normal person doing a job who was a casualty of being sucked into something like this the way he was. Do you know what I mean? And like, he obviously feels for her, which I do think is interesting. And again, I've said it many times, but I think Bellick's had an okay season. And, you know, if we go to Mahone's here, he's obviously been extracted, and he was told that he'd be having a hearing in 1 hour from the release of the prison, and everything will get sorted and he'll be on a plane back to the United States. And now there's been a hiccup, and now obviously he's got to stay the night, and it's just playing on his mind, and his drugs are wearing off, and he's getting a bit paranoid. And, you know, his old co-workers come in and said, you know, did you do it? Do you know what I mean? You could tell me. It's like, can I? You wearing a wire? What is it? Good cop, bad cop? Straight away when she first come in, I was thinking, you know what I mean? She's trying to get a confession out of him. That's what I thought anyway. And like, he said it as well. You know what I mean? You're just trying to get me to confess so you can throw more charges on. She's saying, don't insult me like this, X, Y, and Z. But I just feel like, you know, he doesn't have to reveal this information until he's actually put on the stand, and he has to, you know, do it so he can get his 4 years. You know, this guy's come in and said it'll be done all by the morning, but then again, he's just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I kind of understand Mahomes' paranoia and stress, even if he wasn't on drugs, and even if he didn't need it and it wasn't playing on his mind. I would be in the same situation as well. I'd be like, look, mate, you've gone through all this trouble to fly here, to get me out, to cut this deal, to get it done. The second you get me out, now all this is happening, it's slowing down. I have to wait tomorrow, the next day. When's it going to be? Do you know what I mean? So I understand it. I thought this was a good episode, and Lechero as well. He wants to get out. He wants to escape. And it totally makes sense from the information that was dropped from, you know, the guards that was coming in, or whatever, you know, the person saying that, you know, I asked you to do this, you've asked me to take the contraband out, you asked me to stop the water, you wanted to run everything, and I at least needed somebody to be in line. I think that's now Teabag's time to step up, to be honest. If people are going to start, you know, questioning him, somebody else has got to rise. It's always the case in it. When one falls, one rises. The guy that was shouting at them at the start of the season about the water and stuff, he was killed. He had to, well, I'm not saying he had to be killed, but he was asking to be in that episode. But someone like T-Bag, he's just biding his time. He's just waiting for it. And when he can see that opportunity, he will strike. That's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you're not yet voted for your most likely to dislike characters of the season, please do. The vote started today, so you've got plenty of time. And your results of mine will be shown in the final episode of the season. Can't wait to see you guys pick. And again, another interesting episode. So we did get the fight between Michael and Whistler. Now, interestingly, it wasn't a fight to the death because he was actually saved by the bell. You know, quite a couple of times that's happened in the show. Michael and Whistler did try and do the escape. They actually, Michael made it to the ground, to be honest. You know, he put the ladder outside the window. He climbed down, but nothing. Well, it didn't totally go to plan, only because, you know, the sun, it was going to get blocked by the clouds. Now, they managed to take one guard down. You know, it successfully worked. He dropped, and there was only one tower left. And I was saying I probably would have ran. I would have seen that as still the best opportunity for them to get away. Two people, you know, the only one person could get shot at the same time. I'll try and dodge it, run in circles, hope that he didn't turn around. But they decided to go back up. Now, they did have to go in and start fighting, and it looked like Whistler was about to beat Michael, but one of the guards noticed that the guy in the tower wasn't there. They've gone up and checked him, noticed that he was down. Guys grabbed the binoculars, looked at the ladders, seeing that somebody's potentially escaped, called it in, the alarm's gone off, they've gone inside. Kind of made Lechero look weak, to be honest. It was from one of his man's cell. Do you know what I mean? I know that they'd done a head count and nobody actually escaped. That's what Greta found out as well. So they knew that Michael wasn't successful. But in terms of Lechero, you know, information was released that made other inmates now start questioning his authority. Like I was saying a minute ago, I feel like T-Bag's waiting for the perfect time to strike because he's the type of person that would like to rise to the top. And he'd be an interesting one to do it as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he could end up having a fighting with Sammy, and you know, he'll have no problem killing somebody in. You know, we haven't actually had confirmation of who actually killed. Is it called Tiger or something? The guy that was just introduced like 2 episodes ago. Now, again, you know, Michael, he was dragged into the office because Lechero was like, look, mate, only one person's going to be foolish enough to try and do an escape from Sona, considering nobody's ever escaped before. And that's going to be the guy that actually escaped from a prison already. And that's Michael. And he's grabbed him in, he's brought him into the room separately on his own and was like, look, mate, you know, have you ever heard of the boy who cries wolf? Mate, I have heard that story many a times, and it is so true. Even when somebody is telling the truth, nobody believes them. If they're a liar, they've done it many a times. You know what I mean? Like, that story is so good. You know what I'm saying? It's a good message in life. The guys on the hill, always shouting, you know, help, help, help. I'm going to get hit by wolves. People come up to help him. No wolves. Does it again. No wolves. Does it again. No wolves. The time that there is wolves, he's shouting, help, help, help. People are down there. Sack it, mate. You know what I mean? The guy's just chatting. And then when the time needs, it didn't work out. Do you know what I'm saying? And he gave Michael the opportunity of escaping. No. He's like, look, mate, I'm going to give you one more opportunity to tell me the truth. Are you escaping? Well, Michael didn't actually confirm it, but he was like, look, do you know what? I don't care if you are. You're going to now. You know, people in here, they're not going to have my back anymore. People have learned information. The tides are going to turn. Somebody else is going to rise, going to challenge me. I need to save my life. Got 5 kids on the outside, 3 boys, 2 girls. They need the dad. I need to get out of here. I'm going to cut you loose. You're going to, you know, you're going to do it. You're going to succeed, and we're going to go. So it's going to be interesting to see it, mate. Honestly, it really, really is. Now, obviously, we found out, well, Michael looks like he's found out that Greta's working with Whistler, even though he doesn't technically know who she is, and they granted them 4 more days, which means that she's then going to go and tell Lincoln that that's the case, and then Lincoln's going to have to plan it again. Now, Lincoln done well in obviously trying to get LJ back. Obviously, he knows he's not really a cold-blooded killer, isn't he? And even when he's got somebody at gunpoint and it's his son's life that's on the line, he can't pull, you know what I mean? He can't actually pull enough strength, muster it up to actually shoot somebody. And, you know, when, like I was saying, when you got somebody who's willing to die for the cause, who's a soldier in war, who's willing to put their life on the line to succeed with their outcome, you can't really win in them situations. And it was kind of always going to be a lose-lose. Because if he shot her, she died, she was fine with it. Do you know what I mean? Because she's a soldier in war. He would have been open, free hit to get shot by that other guy, and then could have took LJ out. So he's just said, look, mate, you know, sack it, give me a couple more days, and that is what he's been granted. So I'm excited. So, you know, 7 episodes in, couple more to go, entertaining stuff. More people into the escape now. Michael's learning more information. Can't wait to see how today's episode, well, tomorrow's episode goes. Thanks for checking it out. If you did enjoy today's, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.